Welcome back to Cincinnati, where medical personnel have been working on Bills safety Damar Hamlin for the last 9 minutes. Hamlin made a hit. He got up, took a couple of steps, and then just fell to the ground.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm the right-winged angel, Oliver Mack, and in this video, we got to talk about Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin and how he basically died on the field and was brought back to life. Now, this situation has caused a media firestorm. There are people saying this, there are people saying that, but in this video, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. There's some conspiracy theories floating around there. We're going to talk about that too, so let's go. All right, so if you have been hiding under a rock or you just don't know what's going on, maybe you just one of those people who just don't pay attention to anything that's going on in the world today, maybe you live a very, very happy life. But this is what happened. So Damar Hamlin, he's a safety. He took a hit, or actually he hit someone who he was trying to tackle. And that hit, he took the hit and then he stood up he took 2 steps and then fell over. He passed out. Now, there was people that were crowding around him. They brought the ambulance out. They were doing CPR on him. They had to basically bring him back to life. But here it's saying the Buffalo Bills released a statement saying that he had a cardiac arrest. So his heart stopped beating, which is crazy that you have a football player who does a pretty routine hit. Now, football, y'all know, is violent, is brutal. But the players, they tend to get up and walk away and go hit somebody else after that. But in this situation, he did not. He passed out, which was crazy to see. But, yeah, now he's in the hospital. I want you to hear from his uncle. Yeah, here's his uncle right here. So he said that he is improving. Now, nobody had any idea what had happened to him or what was going on, if he had died, if he was alive. But thank God that prayers do work. And I want you to hear what his uncle says.
Right now, they're just trying to get him to breathe better. He's on a ventilator to help him with breathing, and they're trying to get his lungs back to full strength. He was like on 100%, being assisted by the ventilators yesterday, and he's improved, I believe, up to 50%. So that's definitely an upward trend, and we're thankful for that. I really believe, like, you know, the power of prayers, and like, I mean, it's been prayers from all around the world. I can't believe the outpour of just well wishes, prayers, and support from everybody, man. And it's so touching and heartfelt that it helps us to be able to deal with it, because it shows us, like I was saying earlier, that we're not alone in dealing with this, and, you know, wishing my nephew a speedy recovery. Right now,
that's awesome, man. When I saw the video, I kind of saw the aftermath. I didn't know what was going on. I wasn't watching the game, I'll be honest with you guys, but I have a fantasy team. And the teams that were contending to play me in the championship, they were having an active game, and I was looking at the score, and then I saw that the game had stopped. And I'm like, why did the game stop? And I saw something about an injury. Then I went over to watch the game, and I'm like, oh, my God. Like, they're basically walking off the field. And I went to Twitter and looked at the video and what happened, and I was stunned and shocked. But the thing that kind of made me smile about the whole situation, and I felt really, really bad for the young man. He's 24. He had just started doing something that he loved for a living, which is, you know, a lot of people's dreams. A lot of people, young people who play football, they want to make up to the NFL. So that's a dream of his. And it's crazy that this young man was potentially going to lose his life playing the sport that he loved. But after I saw that, and then I saw the people that were just, all the players on the field that were just gathered around, and they were on their knees and they were praying. And I'm like, wow, that is so cool to see, because with this country that we live in, it's just I won't mince words or anything. It's just, we're turning into a godless country, right? Where nobody cares about God. Nobody wants to worship God. Nobody wants to pray. But when you see all these people and they're gathered around, and they're sitting there and they're kneeling there and they're praying together, that just warms my heart. So I want to tell you guys about something, and I got some backlash for yesterday and today. So I posted this on my Instagram account. This is the only reason NFL players should ever kneel. Pray for Damar Hamlin. Now, some people say I was politicizing this event. I wasn't politicizing. This is just a thought that popped in my head when I saw a lot of these players that were on their knees praying for their fellow teammate. I'm like, it shook me a little bit. I'm like, that's the only reason that NFL players should ever kneel. So I put that in a post, and unfortunately it got a lot of backlash, but it wasn't intentional. I wasn't doing this to get likes or comments or anything like that. I just wanted to share how I felt about the situation, and that's just what I felt, because when you saw these players kneeling for Black Lives Matter, they're basically kneeling for a false narrative that is pushed by an organization, a Marxist organization, that basically, in my opinion, just wants to destroy our country. But when I see all these players kneeling in prayer, I thought that was really, really cool. But yeah, this is the situation right here. I don't want to show you guys too much of it because it's kind of gruesome, and he falls back after that. But, it is what it is. We already know what happened. But anyway, but more to the story, right? So you have your conspiracy theorists out there. Now, I'm not going to say if they're right or wrong. It just kind of doesn't help when we put this information out there. So check this out. So we have Indy Star. Don't let anti-vaxxers lie to you about Damar Hamlin like they did Bert Smith. So there are a lot of people on the right, I'll assume they're on the right, that are saying that the reason that we have so many athletes that are basically passing out and having heart attacks or cardiac arrest is because they took the vaccine. Now, I don't have enough evidence to be able to make that assessment, and I'm not going to say whether they're right or wrong, but I will say that we shouldn't say anything about that until we have the facts and evidence to back it up. Because if we don't, we just seem like crazy, wacky conspiracy theorists that just want to politicize this because we don't like the vaccine. And I don't want anybody to think that about anybody that's fighting on my side, because it makes us look bad. But they pointed to this situation right here. So we have this player, and this is Uche Now. I'm not even going to pronounce that. So this player, 38 years old, former player for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he suddenly died of a heart attack. And this was him back in 2021, September 1st, 2021. Okay, so let's get the vaccine mandates and vaccine passports up and running ASAP. We seeing children die daily from the unvaccinated selfishness. Now, let me tell you, that's fake news, because there weren't many children dying from COVID. That just wasn't the case. But apparently he watches CNN and MSNBC and a lot of these other news outlets that their sole purpose is to get people afraid of whatever they want them to be afraid of. But let's continue. Pregnant women are at risk too. Protect life, mandate the vaccine. Jail anyone who refuses to protect life. So basically, this player right here was saying that anybody who didn't get the vaccine needed to go to jail. And this person ended up dying of a heart attack, sudden cardiac arrest. Now, some people will say, oh, well, it's because he took the vaccine. I don't know. I'm not so sure. Look at this dude. That's a big dude. Big dude probably eat a bunch of burgers, pizza. I mean, they feed these linemen a lot of food. They eat a lot of calories a day so they can stay this big. Now, if you're an athlete, you work out every day. How do you think you're going to stay this big unless you're pumping yourself up with calories? And it's not lean calories either. I could tell this big boy is not eating vegetables and salads and stuff like that. He's eating all the wrong foods, junk foods. So maybe that played a role in him having a sudden cardiac arrest. He's probably, 6'5", 6'7", something like that. And he probably weighs 300 pounds, something like that. So, I mean, when you got to pump yourself up with that many calories and you're that big, your heart sometimes can't take it. But I'm not going to blame the vaccine. I can't do that. I don't have enough evidence to say that that's a possibility. But there are a lot of people who are saying that's a possibility. I mean, in my Instagram circles, of course, you see a lot of people that are mentioning this and saying, well, this probably happened because of the vaccine. I don't know. I really don't know. I wish that some of us would kind of wait a little bit before we make these assessments about stuff like that, especially controversial topics like this, because all they're going to do is point to us and say, look at those conspiracy theorists that are out there trying to make this about the vaccine when they should be worried about the player and praying for him. It's so crazy to see so many people, so many godless people that are trying to talk about who we should be praying for. Does your prayers actually work? Do you actually believe in a God? These people don't act like it. We saw Democrats, when they were doing the debates, they had a atheist ad that kept running over and over and over again during the Democrat debate. So do these people really believe in God? Well, maybe when it's convenient for them, right? When they need something for God, they want to believe in God. But when they don't need anything, we don't care about God. That's fake. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But anyway, I think that's all I wanted to show you guys about this situation. Oh, I wanted to show you this too. I think this is very, very amazing. So this happened during the game after he got injured. I'm sorry, not during the game, but after he got injured. Check out this video.
Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever.
Please God, pray for this 24-year-old individual who lost his breath on his field. Let's God pray that he is okay. And we have come together, united to support him. Amen.
Amen. That's amazing, guys. That's amazing to see in this country that we live in, that there are still people, large groups of people like that will come together and pray for someone that they don't even know. Now, people talk about how racist this country is and all the white supremacists that are lurking around every corner that don't care about black people. This is a black man that is on the field, hurt, lost his heartbeat. And these group of white people, all these white people, that crowd is filled with probably majority white people. And they stopped and said a prayer for this black man that they don't even know. And a lot of these are Cincinnati fans. So this black man who plays for a team that's trying to beat their team, and they're praying for him. Does that look like white supremacy? Does that look like America's so racist? No, it looks like America is a pretty darn amazing place. And when people actually come together, they can do amazing things together in this country. When we stop fighting, when we understand that we have a common goal, we can do amazing things in this country. Do you remember what happened after 9/11 and how everybody came together? We can still do that. But we have to realize who our true enemy is. There are a bunch of elites out there that want to pit us against each other. And if we continue to allow it to happen, they will get exactly what they want. Total power and control over every single one of us. And we can't let that happen. But the only way that we're not going to let that happen is if we come together. Democrats, Republicans, conservatives, libertarian, liberals, everybody, and understand who the real enemy is. It's not Donald Trump. It's not any of your conservative commentators that you love to hate. It's not any of them. There are some people at the top that are pulling the puppet strings on everything else and making all this stuff happen. But as we can see, all we have to do is come together and we can do some amazing things. There's no one that can stop us if we all come together like we saw all these people come together. Now, they're not supposed to, right? They're on opposite teams. These people, you've seen at football games where one person, one football fan of one team is fighting another one of the opposite team because they get so angry at each other. Not in this case. They came together. to pray for this young man, this 24-year-old young man who is now on a ventilator. Hopefully he'll make a full recovery. I'm praying that he makes a full recovery because there's no one that should lose their life playing a game that they love, doing something that they love. His dream came true when he got drafted to the NFL, and he shouldn't have to lose his life over it. But hopefully he won't. I think prayers work, and I'm sure he'll make a full recovery. All right, that's all I got. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, I'll catch you guys on the next video. I'm out. Peace.